Good morning, everyone. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning Dynamite Service with explosive results. Really important to have some wash tips. You know, a medium fan, a wide fan, a high pressure tip, and a shooter tip. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. This is the XJet M5, and this is the number 13 for the 4200 PSI machine. And this is the reducer. So we're going to be running this off of a high pressure ball valve, and in conjunction with this 3/8 polybraided siphon hose out of this 55 gallon SH tank. So what we're doing today, good morning everybody. What we're doing today is going to be a restoration on a home that was built in 1927. So when you're doing these old historic properties, it's really important to number one, which is virtually impossible, determine whether the weather stripping around the windows and doors is any good. So you're going to want to sort of pick the brain of the homeowner and find out when the storms were, you know, if there's any leaks and that type of thing, so you kind of get an idea. Now the homeowner is very concerned about the leaks around the windows, and I'm going to show you what everything looks like in just a second, but come take a quick walk with me. So we're getting set up, and as you guys can see, we are inside this little circular driveway here. This is sort of an old historic area where there's still some, you know, homes that are not that desirable, and then there's some homes that are very nice. For instance, across the street, it's a very nice little home there, but then we have some little shacks tucked away over there, and that's just sort of par for the course for this area. But one of the things that you want to be conscientious of is, number one, on the residential street, how busy is it? Because technically you're not supposed to block the sidewalk. And so what we're doing here is we're just coning off really properly to let bicycle riders know and walk through traffic that there is something that sort of impedes a little bit into this area. I've got some other construction guys coming this morning, and they're going to need to park along here and over there, and that's why we didn't park over there. So we sort of backed it up into this little garage area, this little carport area, so to speak. And one of the first things that I noticed is, okay, you guys are calling me for a house wash, but yet the driveway just really needs a good surface cleaning. So you can see here the algae that's set up alongside here, so that really needs to be taken care of. But I'm just going to show you guys. I'm getting set up this morning. I figured we'd do a quick walkthrough just to kind of point out some things. You know, obviously, we have some paint issues here. We've got some rotten wood. And we've got our typical mildew and that type of thing. If we look up here, you can sort of see the bugs and spider webs that have sort of gathered around that area. So that'll all get washed. Now, if we look inside this window past the screen on the frame itself, the outside of the frame can get cleaned, but the inside of the frame also needs to be cleaned, and that's not something that we can do because that's going to be an inside job. So, you know, the sills will get dusted off really nicely, and that's why that wash tip that I pointed out in the beginning, your XJet is going to be way too much pressure for these wooden windows. They're going to take on water, and they're probably going to take on water within your seams of the glass and also down towards the bottom, and of course at the top area there too. So that's something you want to be conscientious of. And your typical spider web infestation and buildup that sort of happens across the area, you can sort of see that. And then of course, you know, your light here. Now, you can do a couple of things. You can run your cobweb brush, but I'll dust that off. My soaps will pull that right down. I think one of the construction guys is here now. But anyway, we've got, you know, a fence that could be touched up a little bit, so we may hit that just for aesthetic purposes to make things look a little bit cleaner around the area. And then you can see I've got a nice little shaded area to work with today. Isn't that kind of cool? With the exception of the tree branches that kind of scraped along here, but that's okay because you can see how perfectly the lettering is here. Well, we have to get some lettering for this side because what happens is over time they begin to crumble and crunch, and you can see how they're peeling and starting to break away, and that's you know, just what happens after a few years in the hot Florida sun. But that's a main form of advertising, really. It's a rolling billboard. So if we come along here, you can see, you know, this the wood that's been used for this house. You can see how it's set up, and I'm going to show you one of the biggest areas of concern, not for me, but for the homeowner, is that this whole deck needs to be rebuilt. You can see how we have rotten wood and you can just see some areas that are really, really bad. So we're gonna remove these items off of here, and then we're gonna begin the cleaning process without falling through or killing ourselves. You can see how the deck is gone, and you can see what's going on here. So that whole door needs to be replaced, and then you can see what's going on along here as well. So we've got to get all of that off of there, as well. So, and that way the guys can come in and repaint this place and, replace all the rotten wood and make this place look really, really pretty. So, it is an old historic house, like I said, built in 1927, and kind of a neat little house, to be quite honest with you. But you could see the mold that's built up here, on the AC. So all those louvers are just really hammered, and that thing is having trouble sucking. So we'll clean that up, and we'll get all this cleaned up alongside here. And you can see what the algae looks like alongside here. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see because the sun is right in our face, but you can see, how you have, your rust iron and sulfur, you have your algae, you have a lot of stuff going on here. And of course your fence is in bad shape, but if you take a look at the flashing up here, you can just see what that flashing looks like. And you can see, if I just bring you up here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just full of grime. So that all needs to be taken care of. And then of course your windowsills with your mold and mildew. So we've got our work cut out for us. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out my batch mix and crank up the machine and get started. Take care, everyone. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning, Dynamite Service with explosive results. Have a great day.